Hey, what is going? It's looking spicy. It's looking sharp out here. Okay, okay. You know what? I'm gonna do the whole live like this. Yeah, looking like number 3 on the chart. Uh huh. Yeah, you see, it's spicy. It's spicy. Um, what's going on, y'all? Hey, between me and y'all, I got a question for y'all. I got a question for y'all. And happy Tuesday. Welcome to the live. Shout out to my man TP. Shout out to my man. Shout out to Ivan. Welcome. Samantha, welcome. I got two Samantha, so I think maybe Samantha might have upgraded. Let me upgrade you. Shout out to y'all. Sorry about that, Hades. We get that every live. We get that every live. Wisteria, I'm trying to do my best. So thank you, Tammy. Thank you. I have a lot to discuss with y'all today. First question, I wouldn't intend to. See, this is what happened. I have a lot to discuss, and then I get off track. Don't let me get off track. I need somebody to volunteer to be spiritual timekeeper. Somebody be spiritual timekeeper and just yell time when I start rambling. Whoever wants to sign up for that. Okay, real quick. 2 things I've always found hilarious in my life. It's just always been funny to me. Men's obsession with their hair and keeping their hair, and men's obsession with virality. The fact that if I go into any bodega or any corner store, I could buy some horny goat weed or something like that at any hour of the day. They've just always been hilarious to me, to the point where my man Justin used to tell me, you realize what your future looks like, right? You've taken too much pleasure in baldness and flaccidity. You have too much fun with baldness and flaccidity. Is that a word? You realize what your future entails. Now, fortunately, I'm far from the latter. I don't want to do TMI, but I'm far from the latter. However, the enhancements that I need at this point in time are massive. I need a massive amount of enhancements up top. These enhancements. We good. These enhancements. Okay. Now here's the thing. And this is where I got to give myself credit, right? I appreciate anybody that say that I keep it real. This is where I got to give myself credit, because when things have happened to me, I still find them funny. Yes, Pariah. Yes, that's it. When things happen to me, I still find them funny. Like when I fall on the street, which happens more and more as I get up there, I still find it funny. Like I laugh at myself. So I have resisted the urge to do anything substantive. We'll see. This where I'm going. This is where I'm going, 7. This is where I'm going. I have resisted the urge to do anything substantive up to this point. I've gotten offers. I hear technology is amazing these days. I haven't done anything yet up to this point. However, at the same time as that's happening, I've been getting a lot of offers. Like I was talking to a guy the other day who deals with like YouTube sponsorships and stuff like that. And he was like, if you really wanted to lean into the hair thing, we could definitely, I mean, there's a lot of people that would try and help you with that in that regard. And I just think that would be hilarious. I'm sorry. I just think that would be, Could you see me on some commercials putting a man unit in the pack? That's funny to me. But I don't want to dilute the good work that we be doing here. You know what I mean? Because I don't want all the people, I don't want Miss Ray and Regina and Chernobyl and Wendell and Deshauna and all those people, Roberta, all the people that work hard on the channel, try and make the world a better place. And I'm up here with a man unit. That's funny to me. I'm sorry. That's funny. That's funny to me. I'll do it. Anyway, that was not anything that I intended to talk about today. Okay, let's stay on topic. We do have a guest who is coming by shortly, Mrs. Hope Green. She is the first of the user or the viewer contributors, as I have mentioned before, and I will be mentioning on the new video ending, which I already recorded, but I haven't edited yet. I'll edit it tonight, so it should go in the video tomorrow. You guys are involved in so many amazing things, everywhere from volunteering to running for office. I know Deshaun is doing that. You guys are doing some amazing things, and if you are wanting to, amplify what it is that you're doing, if you want to share with the class, I am open to sharing with the class. I'm gonna try and once a month just have talk to y'all. That I'm gonna try and do that once a month. And also I think it's Tracy. Also Tracy, I love the phrase man unit. I love the phrase man unit. It's just funny. When who was it? Cat Williams said Steve Harvey, it was a man unit. See, that wouldn't have been nearly as funny if he wouldn't have said man unit. You know what I mean? That's just funny to me. Okay, so she's coming up soon. I will also tell you this. Rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. I got the news yesterday, I believe it was. And in preparation for this live, knowing that this was just going to be one of those lives where we were just going to talk and catch up, right? In preparation for this live, I figured, we always, we have these moments that happen during lives where we jump in the Wayback Machine and we remember the way we were back then. What better opportunity, right? What better opportunity because of how I felt about Malcolm-Jamal Warner. I'm also going to record a Way of Waters video immediately after this. So if you don't follow Way of Waters, go ahead and drop a follow. It's at Way of Waters. If I can find that, there you go. I'm going to record a Way of Waters about this immediately after this. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to catch y'all up on what we got going on the channel, content-wise, and we're going to bring in Hope Green. And then afterwards, we just going to have some fun. As I titled this live, The Kids That Raised Me. So these were all people like Malcolm-Jamal Warner that raised me. Now, I will also tell you, as I had to tell my wife, she's younger than me. So she's looking for TGI Friday. She's looking for Urkel. I mean, I could do a whole thing about Urkel, who you notice is not in the thumbnail. The Full House kids aren't there. None of the Fresh Prince, none of those kids are there. Here's the thing. I had to set a line of demarcation in the 80s. In the 80s. We talking about the 80s today. We talking about the 80s today. And I know that some of these people stretched into the 90s. I get that. 90s. We talking about the 80s today. Out of respect for Malcolm-Jamal Warner and the Cosby Show, we talking about the 80s. All right. And I know Family Matters and Full House started in the 80s. Those are 90s shows. Come on, those 90s shows. Those 90s shows. We talking about Webster. Okay, that's what we talking about. We not talking about the 90s. We talking about the 80s today. So we're gonna have some fun with that after we talk to Hope. Small one. It was so many I couldn't get on. So we talking about kids. We doing kids. So I had to, we gonna have a lot of these conversations. So I gotta be as specific as possible so we don't go afield. Okay. So before I bring in Hope, if you didn't get a chance to watch today's video all about the canceling of the Colbert Show, comedy, censorship, all that kind of stuff, I felt that one very strongly. I told Regina as soon as the cancellation came down, I want to do a piece about it. Credit to her for her research. I feel a type of way when it comes to censorship. Obviously, I've gone on diatribes here about what goes on this platform. So the Colbert thing is something I'm taking note of. Also, there was a note in that video that I referenced where I talked about how I'm perceiving Paramount and the people whose hands are on the Colbert cancellation. How I'm perceiving you on the other side of bending the knee to Trump. And what those numbers look like if you think that a MAGA audience are going to be the ones that are going to support all of you. We're all going to go right and think that all of our content is going to survive and do numbers because we just say the thing that Trump is okay with us saying and doing, which is an insane thing because y'all struggling trying to appeal to the most people possible. So now y'all all gonna go after the same shrinking pie. And I do mean shrinking pie because I see what those approval numbers look like. So now y'all gonna go after the same shrinking pie. Now that is assuming, of course, that there are significant enough number of people who, like me, will hold you accountable for the things that you're doing. That remains to be seen. That part remains to be seen. We have selective and very unreliable enforcement of these things, as evidenced by the fact that last night I was watching TV and I saw an advertisement for Nelly and Ashanti show. And who do you think that's aimed at? Not the MAGAs. So, we do have some selective enforcement of these things. I did see Obama's response. I haven't done a video about two things that I'm like not sure about at this point in time. Obama and MLK. I don't really want to dignify the Obama accusations or the MLK file release, especially against the wishes of his family. I don't really want to dignify it. I might have to, especially in the case of MLK. People are still going through those documents, so we'll see what they're talking about on the other side of that. But Obama put out his little statement. The other interesting thing too, because I just watched this I just watched this video, MSNBC video talking about Obama's response, and it said, talked about how this is just a distraction from Epstein, but it's going to create another Epstein in a couple of weeks / months when there's no prosecution of Obama because you don't have any evidence, because this is nonsense. So you're like kicking the can down the road on the distractions and on the hypocrisy, which is wild, because if you recall, the way that we got to Epstein was trying to distract from Texas. Remember that? Remember that? Remember where there was nothing blue in sight to be blamed for what happened in Texas? You had right-wingers locally on the ground. You had the president and his administration, and Lord knows you like to drop people, anything at the feet of whoever's the president at that point in time. That's how it went for Obama. You have all the Doge cuts and the ramifications with our weather service. Remember that? Remember that? Oh yeah, Nikki. Yeah, that's right. You're right about that. So, look, I don't see a need to. I'm like Pimpin' Curly. I'm like Pimpin' Curly or Superfly back in the day. It's no need to choose. We could drag you for all of them. It's room for more. We can have Iran. We can have Texas. We can have Epstein. And coming soon, these nasty allegations that you are willing to turn on another president. Yeah. We can have it all. We can have it all. None of which apparently seems to be working. So, how's that going for you? In fact, Trump is so savvy that he posted, I believe today or yesterday. I have to get his post reported on, because I don't be on Truth Social. Apparently, he posted, "We've had the greatest 6 months, blah 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 blah, and all everybody wants to talk about is the Epstein hoax!" Exclamation point. Thanks for bringing that up again. Thank you. That's solid. That's solid. He's an ally. He's an ally. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm like, bro, are you? Back in the day, I came to the conclusion sometimes, because when you get away with something and you just get more and more reckless, right? Like, I remember that first time I went to work in my 20s, and all the Mad Dog wasn't out my system. You know what I mean? Like, I had sufficiently dried up. I went to work and I was able to survive. You're like, wow. So maybe I don't have to go home at midnight. And you just get more and more reckless. You're going to get more and more reckless till you be out, and then you just cross the street and go right to work. That's how you get away with something, and you get more and more reckless. And I come to the conclusion where I'm like, man, I think I wanted to get caught. Because that's the only reasonable explanation. It sounds unthinkable, right? It sounds nonsensical. But if I look at my behavior, it's the only thing that makes sense. Is I think I want to be caught. I think he might want to be caught. I mean, who posts stop talking about Epstein in all caps with exclamation points? Who does that? You know what I mean? Bruh. Yeah, I don't drink. What I heard of Mad Dog is diabolical. Mad Dog was something else, man. Mad Dog and Cisco were the two that I never fully conquered. And Steel Reserve. Mad Dog, Cisco, and Steel Reserve, I never fully conquered. And I'm kind of frustrated. Banana Red. See, that's how they get you. That's how they get you, because they have fun. Like, that sounds like a delicious drink. That sounds like a delicious drink. Let me get a Banana Red 2020. That sounds like a fun time, right? That sounds like a good. But the Banana Red 2020 sound like a good time. You're not gonna know what happened. You not. They got Orange Jubilee. See, that should be illegal. That should be illegal. They gonna call it Orange Jubilee. It's gonna be Orange Jubilee on the sidewalk. It's gonna be Orange Jubilee on the sidewalk in the morning. I tell you that right now. By the way, there's no way it was something called thought juice. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that thought juice was a thing. Now, y'all not gonna get me there. Real quick, and I mean real quick. I do have a video coming out about that Mehdi Hasan Jubilee video. I found out immediately after I recorded it. And I mean immediately. Like, I was still in my clothes. I found out immediately after I recorded it that old boy got fired. I was like, almost snatched off my own man unit. When I get a man unit, that's going to be a good bit. That's going to be a good bit. When I get a man unit and then I get, sufficiently mad and I just take off you're like, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. That's going to be my signature move, is taking off my man unit. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. And who I love it for, especially, is all of the mods. I love it. I love it for the mods. Like, hey, I gotta go. Well, what you doing? I am a moderator on this YouTube channel. Very large. It's gotten big. It's a growing YouTube channel. And we're doing a premiere, so I gotta. What channel is it? Nah, it's cool, man. It might not be your cup of tea. Just don't worry about it. No. What channel is it? I'm gonna check it out. His name Reese Waters. Oh, wait! You talking about the dude that be throwing his man unit? I want that for y'all. I might do it just for that. I might do it just for that. Oh boy. All right. So as far as the Jubilee thing, I gotta figure that out. Because had I recorded, if I knew that he got fired, I could have turned that around tomorrow. But now I don't know if I could do that. So I have to figure it out. Tomorrow's video probably is the Russian dad is probably gonna be tomorrow. I had some fun with that one. I had some fun with the Russian dad, so you guys will definitely enjoy that. All right. Without further ado, so as I mentioned, you guys. Oh, actually, let me go through my. Thank you, Tammy. Much appreciated. Buzzer scared the boom boom. I can see that. I can see that in your photo. Thank you, Catch My Whiff. I appreciate that. Aracelis, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Salute to you, Jamal. Salute, my friend. I appreciate it. Blacks have been free for less time than they were enslaved. Crystal, I appreciate that. And I also recorded a video about third country deportations, specifically third country deportations to Africa. Third country deportations to Africa when they are challenging birthright citizenship and due process. Yes, I have a video about that. So be on the lookout for that. That one will be out shortly as well. Instructor, MAGA world keeps digging that ditch deeper and deeper on the Epstein files. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. My one concern about that is the Megyn Kelly, the first trapdoor they tried to use was the Alex Jones. Oh, they're not going to release it because they just holding the deep state hostage with the files because they are implicated. And therefore, if he released them, then they would be eliminated. Yeah, that dog didn't hunt. That first trapdoor that they tried to go with was saying that he was using it in order to get his agenda through and holding it as collateral against the deep state. That was the first one. The second one kind of concerns me. The second trapdoor is the Megyn Kelly. Oh, he's in it because they were friends. But of course, naturally, he would never do anything like that. But he just doesn't want to release it just because he's in it. Now, we know that's nonsense. But that is the kind of rhetoric. When I say reason why it concerns me, what I mean by that is ways in which the MAGAs can twist basic common sense and logic in order to get off Trump's neck about this. I think that is a way that they could do it. You see Megyn Kelly spouting that already. Tammy, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tammy. I think Tammy did that just when I said I was going to start pulling my man unit. Chris Tinfoil Hat, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Bonnie turned in her 2 weeks and don't even know it. We'll see. But see now, the thing now, though, is, I was watching that video all about the Obama thing, which is fun. I love that they included Marco Rubio in the statement. I love that they included Marco Rubio, and they ran the clip of Tulsi Gabbard admitting that Obama didn't have nothing to do with it. The thing now is, I think if he felt like it would help him and he wouldn't have any more to worry about, Bondi would have been gone. The problem is, these are the people. All of these people are heat shields for Trump, right? Like, as a football fan, everybody complains about Roger Goodell. How does Roger Goodell make $40 million? That's crazy, Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell is a heat shield for the owners. So instead of getting mad at the owners, you get mad at Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell gets paid the $40 million to take an ass whoop. That's what he gets paid for, in order to take y'all's heat and anger. So when people are wilding about Tulsi Gabbard or Pete Hegseth or Pam Bondi or whoever, I think he likes that. Not that he would rather you praise them, but he doesn't want the smoke himself. So if he has somebody that can take the heat off of him, that's more job security than being competent in this administration. Not to mention the fact that if he starts firing people, well, now you have people just out in the world who know where the bodies are buried, which you don't want. Now, granted, they can't just speak freely, but they can cause problems, as we have seen from, members of previous administrations, previous Trump administrations. All right. Well, Trump shut on him. I know. I did that first video. I might have to do another one. We all in the same gang. I love this. Somebody remember that when we did the premiere. Somebody say hammer. Earbuds. What happened? Somebody cussing? Who's cussing? Okay. All right. Let's get on with it. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, every month or so, I am going to do my best to allow people that are viewers and people that support the channel, people that like the channel, watch the channel, to talk about the things that they're working on, especially if they feel, very strongly and have a specific level of expertise. Well, today we are bringing in a woman with a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, somebody who can speak very directly to what she calls the mental health crisis here in America, but specifically as it affects children and Black children specifically. She happens to be in Texas, and Lord knows, I'm about to do a whole gerrymandering video. I'm about to do a whole gerrymander. I can't, why I can't talk about gerrymandering? I get so mad. You know what I mean? I just gotta, gerrymandering just makes me so tight. It really does. I'm gonna do a whole video. It's gonna be the one time I might have to let Gavin Newsom ride for that photo that he took with Kim Guilfoyle on the rug. Remember that photo he took with Kim Guilfoyle on the rug? He is causing so much drama with the gerrymandering and saying exactly what needs to be said. Exactly what needs to be said. I might have to let him ride on that. Oh no, Spitfire, you didn't know about that. You didn't know he was on the rug with Kim Guilfoyle? Don't look that up. I apologize because we probably got kids on here too. Wow. See, that's why you should script your introductions of people, because I'm introducing a woman to talk about mental health, and I'm gonna set it up by giving people mental image of Kim Guilfoyle on the rug with Gavin Newsom. I got it. Without further ado, Mrs. Hope Green, what is going on?
Hello.
And I know you are not a guest on the show unless you come in and I don't have my headphones ready and I'm unprepared. So that means you are official right now.
Awesome.
And I would add host of the Truth or Dare podcast. I see that there as well. What's going on?
You are actually a huge inspiration for me. Like actually getting back to my podcast, because I had kind of abandoned it. I was like, me and my 33 subscribers, I was like, yeah, maybe this is not my thing. But, since I've been a member of the Troubled Waters, is that what, how Don Lemon has lemon heads and all that? What are we? I might have missed it because I'm a brand new subscriber.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching the show since since before the election, but I just started subscribing recently. But yeah.
Okay.
What is your community name? What hat do we wear?
We have we have the Troubled Waters. So the members tier. Yes. There's Troubled Waters at the top, and then you have Deep Waters and you have Shallow Waters. Those are the member communities, and then we have the Mod Squad, which is all the people with the wrenches here in the chat. There has been some talk of naming people that were just the subscribers, and there's been waterheads. See, they all be like that. I like.
Yeah, that's contest worthy right there. So we need to throw out and see who the top 3 are, so we can vote on that.
But see, and see, I'm talking to my right hand is Miss Ray, who's on here too. See, I can't participate in that because it just doesn't feel right for me to choose what people call themselves, and it's a derivation of my name. That just seems like really.
Well,
that just seems like you're doing a lot. Yeah. You're really doing a lot. You really feeling yourself, ain't you? You just gonna name everybody waterhead. Like if y'all do that on your own, it's fine. I can't. Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, what compelled you to reach out to us here on the channel?
Well, I love the vibe here. I love the fact that you are you. Like, you don't conform to, you know, what nobody else is saying that people should be, and that's been inspirational to me. I mean, it's been tough, you know, out in these streets. And then when the election went all crazy, you got to find that place where other people understand, you know, where your head's at, where y'all can kind of work through the difficulties together. And so, thank you for providing a safe space like that for us.
Absolutely. And I mean, in light of the things that we've seen, you know, in this most recent news cycle, be it Epstein just happening, or the floods just happening, or the
Yes.
MLK stuff, which has yet to really be a thing, but I'm kind of bracing for
Coming.
whatever they're going to try to
Yes.
turn that into. And then Diddy, right? You know, that dropping and the ramifications of that. So,
Yes.
um, how has that impacted what you described as the mental health crisis you see at play?
Well, that's interesting because now I'm, you know, rounding the corner. I'm on my way to 53 years old. And prior to actually becoming an educator, I've been a business owner for more than 38 years. And something interesting happened on that journey where I kind of was like I was attracting a lot of young people to work in my business. Well, I had a food truck business, I had a real estate business. The food truck business, I attracted a lot of young people. And a lot of these young people were in foster care, like aging out of foster care. A lot of them found themselves in different phases of homelessness. And so I really got immersed in that community and trying to help them, you know, create pathways to self-sufficiency for themselves, which maybe it was finding the right job, getting into college, or starting your own business, you know, all that type of stuff. And so as I got deeper into that, I well, even prior to being a business owner, and this is probably why, you know, they gravitate to me, because I do believe in you know, the energy movements of the universe. But I used to be a CASA worker, so a CASA volunteer. So I don't know if you guys know what a CASA volunteer is, but you know, when I was going through college, I served in the court system where kids that were going through abusive situations and maybe taken out of their home, there was an adult individual that would go to testify on behalf of the kid in court because they didn't want to, you know, put the kid in that traumatic situation. So I used to have to read through files and create, you know, the message to take to court in speaking for this child. And so I did that work for a long time. And so I was already of the mindset of kids are going through a lot these days. Like, kids are just dealing with a lot of situations and a lot of baggage. And so when I started my own business and I started working with foster youth, I started seeing that same thing over again. And then I'm looking to you know, the school system, like what's happening in the school system, where are the protections for our kids? Like, who do they go to when things aren't safe at home, or when they feel like they have nobody to talk to, or they can't afford, you know, to be in therapy, or nobody's looking to, you know, get them the help that they need? Where does this child go to, you know, to initiate that? And if it's not at school, then, you know, what's the next pathway? So that's kind of always been like a little driving force to a lot of the work that I do, is creating pathways like that of safety and trust, and, you know, where young people can feel like, hey, I need to be honest about what's happening in my life so that I can find a way out. Like, how do I stop the cycle of abuse? How do I, you know, get out of this crazy situation? And I mean, and it's really weird because I had young ladies that worked with me that were in group homes and shelters because they had been removed from sex trafficking. I don't know if we can say that. I know YouTube has weird algorithms and stuff, but even in the situations where they were trying to get help, individuals that were hired by these agencies to help them would re-victimize them and put them back into the situation, you know, to benefit themselves. And I would see these things, and it's like, yeah, there's gotta be more people who want to break this chain and why this keeps happening. Why does this keep coming up? And just to correct a statement you made earlier, I'm actually working on my master's in clinical mental health right now. So I'm actually working on capstone projects and research projects and clinical studies. So I really love to get some feedback from the audience. So if people have specific questions that they want to ask, I would love to, be able to, answer some questions that folks have, deal with some real life situations that some people might have, just to, make this beneficial for everybody. I don't want y'all to just sit here listening to me talk on, because I could talk about this stuff for hours.
I have a question. So
Yes.
you mentioned the foster care system, which I don't think gets brought up or talked about as much as it should.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually interesting to me, because I remember several years ago when we were looking to do community outreach with the television station I was working with at the time. They were trying to find specific segments of the population that they felt like they could reach out to and go, give money and be seen and stuff like that. And the foster care system was one that popped into my mind, just because these were young people that didn't have, now granted, this isn't to say, all parents are not created equal. So they cannot all be relied upon as an advocate, but many can. But then in the foster care system, you don't have that ready-made advocate. You have to build that relationship yourself, which leaves these people extremely vulnerable. But it's also because it's a big undertaking to ask people to participate in the foster care system. I find that it can, it really seems to invite folks with ulterior motives, because they will provide the basic necessities in order to get access to a child and act out whatever it is that they choose to do in their demented mind. So it really, the abuses that I have seen and heard about in the foster care system upset me to a crazy level, but I can't really put it in good context, because I don't have, the wider scope of the foster care system and exactly what condition it's in. So that's what I was hoping that you could illuminate is the situation as bad as it's made to seem, and also what some people can do to try and help and reinforce and lend a hand, whether that be, with their time or with their money.
Yes, definitely. Now, like most, and this is not nothing new, but like a lot of times media, they're looking for ratings. They're looking for, now we have clickbait, but even 30 years ago, there's always the thing like, what's going to get you the most views? What's going to get the most eyeballs? So of course, we always want to tell the story that is most salacious, that's going to cause people to say, oh, wow, tune this in, or I want to hear more about that. And people doing bad things tends to attract more looky-loos than people that are doing great things. So I do want to acknowledge that within the foster care system, there are some great people that are doing great work. Like you'll have foster parents, or people that host group homes that have 5 or 6 kids, even though it's a struggle for them, and they only get like a little bit of money to do the work that they do, but they want to be that resource. And so me personally, when I was 19 and going through college the first time, I actually had 3 foster kids of my own that I was raising while I was going through college. So these are just personal choices that people make. But even their foster families that take on kids, they also have services called golly, I just had the word and it just left my brain. But there's respite care for foster families. So you could also be the type of foster parent. You'll go through the same training. You'll be the foster parent that maybe takes the kids for a weekend or takes the kids for a day, kind of give the foster family a reprieve that they could take a break. And of course, there's always financial donations, and there are, and I can shoot you guys an email with a list of resources where places take donations for homes. Like if somebody, and of course there's emergency foster care, like a situation happens and then a kid ends up in a emergency place that they need somewhere to stay, and they might call, somebody who's on the list like at midnight and say, hey, do you have room in your home for us to bring a kid by? And then those types of people need like maybe extra furniture or extra clothes. So there's places like if you're moving and you have extra things that you want to donate in that respect, there are places that take that on. And it's interesting, how you also brought up, like having kids that don't have that first line of, advocate, and then, they're in foster care. So we do have a lot of situations where the thing, like those soft skills that you learn at home just by osmosis, when you're in foster care, you don't pick up on those things. And like getting a driver's license or learning how to drive or even shopping for clothes and stuff like that. So a lot of times there'll be needs to have people to be in a, go into a group home situation to offer that type of service. So like if you have a vehicle, that you'd be willing to teach a foster youth how to drive, to get their driver's license, or to go with them to take the test, different little things like that we kind of take for granted. Like we don't ever really think about that. Or even locating their birth certificate, getting a copy of their birth certificate. Sometimes those types of things can be, difficult hurdles that are kind of unique to the foster care world.
Hope, I got 2 questions for you before you go, because these were 2 good ones that I picked up. I got this one from Ralph that said, if you had to pick just one problem our children are suffering from right now, what would it be? And there was also a question from Tammy, who asked, she'd like to know what you advocate for children to not internalize microaggressions.
Ooh, great questions. Awesome. And one of them does touch on, like, my heart of hearts goes towards screen time. Like our kids right now are getting too much screen time. So, and there are studies out there right now, like studies that were done by the University of California. We've got the Seattle Children's Hospital, and I got a couple of, other lists and stuff where our kids' brains are actually changing. The shape of their brains are changing right now because of the excessive screen time that they're getting. Because like the centers where you make decisions is getting smaller, and so that's affecting critical thinking skills. It's just affecting decision making, and it's also helping to fuel the increase in anxiety disorders that we see a lot of kids coming up with these days. And even when you branch out into that stuff, it also starts to affect just being outside, being outside, of soaking up minerals, soaking up sunlight, all of these types of things. It also starts to affect like their physical health. And then, of course, there's the whole thing about the funding that we're losing for Medicaid and all that's going to affect Head Start programs. And a lot of these kids get a lot of nutrition from those programs. And even in like the last couple of years, we've seen a decrease in like things like the changing landscape of the health issues that we see kids having these days. We used to worry about asthma. Now we're worrying about obesity and fatty liver disease. And there's fatty liver disease happening in kids that don't look to be obese, or they don't look overweight, but they have these other situations going on because of the lack of nutrition. We're already suffering from this. And so these funding cuts is going to make those situations even worse. And then even just the added sugars that are in diets, like you go to, like I went to Pizza Hut not too long. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't disparage brands and stuff. I'm trying not to do that. But if you've noticed,
I mean, you can.
If you notice things that have sugar in them that shouldn't have sugar in them, like pizza sauce, like why is the pizza sauce so sweet these days? There's sugar in meat. There's all this stuff that's happening that is harming our kids. And I don't want to be one of those people that badgers parents, but the solution is more time with parents. Like if parents just added an extra 30 minutes to the playtime that they give to their kid, like a whole transformation of the brain. Like you could repair the damage that's done by too much screen time just by the touch that kids get from their parents, by the conversation. Like if you have a little kid and they're used to like jumping on the screen, if you just sat them down and you just looked at them, like just look at them in their face and don't say anything, don't do anything, just wait for them to make the first move, that there's connections going on in their brain that we're not even aware of, like a 2-year-old. I mean, if you're just sitting there and you don't talk first, you let them talk first, or you let them do whatever they're going to do, and then you mirror whatever it is that they do. There's all these things that are going on to
My
create
daughter would think she was in trouble.
more
She'd be
well-rounded human.
She'd be like, "What I do? What we in here about to talk? Oh, here they go again with that." That's interesting. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna let everybody know how that goes. I did.
Yes, record it for us.
For sure. Bruno said he just clicked on, but was just talking to his brother on the phone and told him he was thinking about becoming a foster parent. So he just happened to see this. I thought that was cool. I do want to get this in while you're here. A charity for donations to foster care. I would love to donate. My oldest child had a best friend in foster care, was always happy to help when I could. That's always interesting because when you want to donate, sometimes you don't know like what's like the safest place to donate and what's the most efficient place to donate. So where were you advocate for?
There are actual group homes. There's societies, like foster, there's one that I know for sure named Foster Village. They're here in Austin, Texas. I don't know if how widespread they are, but that's definitely a good place to start. But if you go to Salvation Army, probably has a really good connection with other resources that they use that are interconnected within your local community. They could definitely put you in touch. And then I think there's one that escapes me, but there's like anyone that offers like a emergency, like even if you were to call a hospital and say, hey, if somebody dropped off a baby to the hospital or to the fire station, where would you take the baby? So whatever place that is that a fire station would take a child that's been left in their care, then they probably would love to have some donations going on. So in your local area, you can just contact, like some of these umbrella organizations that help that particular demographic, and they could definitely point you in the right direction.
All right, Hope, I really appreciate you dropping by. And I would also be curious, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to check out my other channel, Way of Waters. That's the more mindfulness channel, because I think we could have a totally different conversation. Actually, it'd be kind of a similar conversation, but a longer, more in-depth conversation. But I should reach out to you for that. But while you're here, where can the people find out what you're doing, what you're working on, and where can they follow you?
I would love, if you have if anybody has specific questions or comments, along this lines, whether it's youth related or, just taking a mental health break, if you're looking for, a place to, just kind of unload your own mental stress, then, of course, the Truth or Dare podcast, we're up to 33 subscribers. Come join us over there, help build something new. And I think it is, I think it's Truth or Dare / or _ USAX. So it's Truth or Dare -USAX is our channel name.
All right. I appreciate you so much for coming by. And I guess I'll definitely going to reach out to you after this, but I'll also look for you in the comments in the chats as well.
Absolutely. I'll be there.
All right. That was Hope. Thank you all. That was cool. Well, as I mentioned, if you guys have, you're working on something you would like to share with everybody else on the channel, you can hit me up, admin@reesewaters.com, and we will hash that out. I also very much appreciate all you guys comments and questions and whatnot. So one thing I will say, she mentioned sweets. I got to do better about that. I'll be honest. I got in trouble. I didn't get in trouble. See, I caught myself because I'm savvy. I'm not as savvy. I'm not like Trump. I'm savvy. So I went to go buy Gatorade, and when it was delivered, I saw that I had gotten the Gatorade Zero, the no sugar. Disgusting. I can't do that. No, I do the right. I do the let it. Now I do the let it. People have told me for years, you need to go to the zero. I'm like, y'all, you can't. Hey, lightweight. Yeah, no. I do the fully let it. And Gatorade Zero came, and I was so mad at myself for not, and I thought it was a deal. I said, that's crazy. Here I am excited. I thought I got a deal, and it was Gatorade Zero. So I put it downstairs, and my wife said the next day, she said, I just wanted you to know how proud I am of you because I know that you've been resisting going to Gatorade Zero for quite some time. And it really means a lot that you are taking care of yourself and doing what you need to do in order to be here for the children and to be here for me. You know, it really shows that you're taking to heart a lot of the lessons that you talk about on your channel. So I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Yup. You know, I felt like it was time. You know, I felt like it was time. You know, whatever I can do for the children. You know, I was disgusted. Now I got to drink Gatorade Zeros now, though. Now I've been having to drink Gatorade Zeros. I had to eat it. Since we I take my Gatorade upstairs and put little sugar packets in my Gatorade. All right. Now, shout out to Hope. Shout out to y'all. We're gonna have some fun. Quick question. Who is y'all's favorite Cosby kid? I'll put mine. There we go. Who is y'all's favorite Cosby kid? I want to see something. Dum-dum-dum. We got Denise. Theo. We got Rudy. We got Denise. Oh, hell no! Hell no! No Olivia will be accepted. Oh, I'm coming back around. I'm coming for you, Allie. Unacceptable. Olivia is not an answer. Denise, Rudy, Theo, Denise, Rudy, Theo, Rudy. We got a Vanessa. Rudy, Denise, Vanessa, Theo, Denise, Rudy, Denise, all of them. Theo, Rudy, Vanessa, Theo, Rudy. You're just being funny. You just being funny now. Oh. How many of y'all? I want to see how many guesses it would be before somebody says Sandra. And I don't even, and it's slash Sandra. Not a straight Sandra. I want to see how long it would be till somebody says Sandra. We had multiple Olivias and an Alvin before somebody said. We had a Bud before somebody says Sandra. Ain't nobody like Sandra. Ain't nobody like Sandra. What's so funny is Sandra's husband, because Sandra's husband, right? Sandra's husband was the dude that had the viral thing. He was working at the grocery store. That was Sandra's husband, right? Shout out to him, Jeffrey Owens. Why do I know his actual name? I don't know his name on the show. But I only know his actual name because I've seen the credits so many times. Shout out to Jeffrey Owens, by the way. He handled that beautifully. I thought that was actually a beautiful moment for the culture. Sandra was such a bad character that when she got married, we just adopted him. They were like, we got extra Elvin, yeah. We had extra space. We had extra space for love. You just can't have it, Sandra. You just can't have it. Now, I'll be honest. I got triggered. Yes, the Gordon Gartrell. The Gordon Gartrell was the one that the Gordon Gartrell was the one I used for the thumbnail. I get triggered when y'all give me the second baby. We already had a baby. We watched Rudy grow up from a child. Keep it pushing. We don't need a new baby. We don't need Olivia out here doing a poor man's Rudy. And I do mean a poor man's Rudy. Now, granted, it was happening at the same time as the Olsen twins was blowing up on Full House. So maybe they were trying to counter program that. But I was just like, what is this? What is this? Olivia, they did it with that. They did it. Cosby Show did it. Fresh Prince did it. Lil Nicky. I ain't come in for that. Now, maybe Fresh Prince said, we never had a kid. So this is our kid. I guess maybe Fresh Prince will look. And Family Ties did it too. I didn't come here for that. No. Keep it pushing. Oh, we going to reboot the show. We going to have another baby. Just cancel it. Just cancel it. And you already had a different world. You just pay attention to that. Lil Nicky. Now, different world. Here's another thing, too. Here's another question. So y'all see the thumbnail. Let me see. Let me pull up the thumbnail. That image file. There we go. All right, so y'all see the thumbnail for this particular one. Does anybody know? Here's a question. Does anybody know who the kid is in the far right corner? This should be a giveaway. Yeah. I'm going to have something for somebody. If you know who it is in the far right corner, one of my favorites as a kid, okay. Who is it in the far right corner? Wow. Are we related? Wow. That's impressive. Wisteria T, shoot me an email, admin@reesewaters.com. We're gonna get you set up. Wisteria T, that was impressive. Why nobody talks about Wesley and nobody talks about Mr. Belvedere? Mr. Belvedere was fire. You couldn't have told me that Wesley from Mr. Belvedere wasn't gonna have Macaulay Culkin's young career. I can't say whole career because it was half a career, but you can't tell me he wasn't going to be Macaulay Culkin. What did Macaulay Culkin have? That Wesley from Mr. Belvedere didn't have? Huh? What did Macaulay Culkin have that Wesley from Mr. Belvedere didn't have? And while we're on the topic, what did Gary Coleman have that Emmanuel Lewis didn't have? Why Gary Coleman kept getting all these at-bats that Emmanuel Lewis didn't get? What was wrong with Webster? Was Webster the poor man's different strokes? Is that why? Maybe that was the case because they just existed. When my understanding of the world was being developed, they both just existed. So I don't know how they came to be, but was it the poor man's? Why did Gary Coleman keep getting at bats and Emmanuel Lewis didn't? I didn't find them to be all that different. You know what I mean? Not to me. I rock with Emmanuel Lewis. You wrong. I know somebody was gonna say it. Emmanuel Lewis was way more. I like Emmanuel Lewis. Bryce Beckham was amazing. Macaulay had John Hughes behind him. Bryce Beckham is the name of the kid, and Mr. Belvedere. Now a couple things about this. Oh hell yeah! I remember Give Me a Break. Give me a break. Oh wait. I got Who's the Boss in my head. I got Who's the Boss in my head. I can't get Who's the Boss out of my head. So sorry. But yes, I do remember Give Me a Break. Nobody talks about Nell Carter and Give Me a Break. Nobody ever talks about that show. Now, a couple things about this thumbnail. My favorite show as a child, and I mean as a child, so my favorite sitcom, 0 to 8, 0 to 8, 0 to 9, is on this thumbnail. I'm curious what y'all. This should be a poll. This should be a poll. Hold up. I'm gonna do a poll. While I do this, I had to go with Jesse to represent Saved by the Bell, and that was unfortunate. I like Jesse. I got no beef with Jesse whatsoever. But the reason why I had to go with Jesse is I really would have wanted to go with Slater because I was a big Slater guy. But not after he was at UFC glad handing Trump. I couldn't rock with it. No, you do. I wasn't really a Zach and Kelly guy. Slater is packed up. I could have went with Lisa, and I did rock with Lisa heavy, but I felt like Jessie got done wrong with how she was treated post Showgirls. I felt like Showgirls, they shouldn't have did her like that. I didn't agree. Hold on. Say Cosby Show. It's a different world. All right, here's a question. I just want to see what y'all think. I also had a bone to pick about I have said this before about A Different World. A Different World messed me up as much as any show. It really made me feel, and you know what? It's not A Different World specifically. The television of my youth really made me think it was going to be more drama at weddings. They really made me think it was going to be more drama at weddings. When we was a kid, it's always somebody coming in to stop the marriage. You know what I mean? Dwayne Wayne running in on Whitley. I thought that was regular. So then when I got invited to weddings, you know, I just be, you know, I can't turn around too far because I don't got my man unit. But I'm like, whoa. You know, my whole life I've been going to weddings. I ain't seen no disruption. I ain't seen no I object to the wedding. I ain't seen no runaway bride. I ain't seen no cold feet at the altar. None of that. Let me see what y'all thought. All right, so when I asked y'all what was my favorite show, Cosby Show, about 34%, Different World, 29%, Wonder Years at 22%, and Saved by the Bell at 15%. It was Wonder Years. I love Wonder Years. You can't tell me nothing about Winnie Cooper. Oh, no. You can't tell me nothing about no Winnie Cooper. I'm sorry. Until I met my wife. I don't. Oh, wait. No, it's in Salma Hayek. Wait, and then Hallie. Okay. Hallie in the 90s. Salma in the 2000s. My wife in the 2020s. Winnie Cooper in the 80s, baby. Winnie, go. No. Winnie Cooper in the, no, we gonna fight. Winnie Cooper, Topanga is a poor man's Winnie Cooper. A poor man's Winnie Cooper. Stop it. He couldn't see no Winnie Cooper. Are you crazy? If Topanga came around while we was looking at Winnie Cooper, we would say, hey, who left that baby over here? I'm about to call CPS. Who left that baby over here? Topanga can't see no Winnie Cooper. What's wrong with you? And whoever it was that said Salma Hayek looks damn good right now, you're right about that. And besides, we're not even in the 90s. We're not even in the 90s. Who they mostly compare Topanga with is Kelly Kapowski, which is also nonsense. And I'm not even the biggest Kelly fan, but that's also nonsense. No. We will have to address this later. Wonder Years, the crazy thing about Wonder Years, I just saw a meme the other day that talks about how Wonder Years was like, it was made in the 80s about the late 60s, and if they made a Wonder Years right now, it would be about like the 2000s. Like, damn, we old. I'm older than the dad was on Wonder Years. Bruh, I'm older than the dad was on Wonder Years. What took over for Wonder Years was probably In Living Color. And Living Color probably took over for Wonder Years, and then it went to Martin. There was probably some other shows in there. I was a big Quantum Leap fan, but like when it comes to like the sitcoms, it probably went Wonder Years and Living Color, Martin, something like that. But that's a story for another time. Y'all will have to cheat when we talk about the 90s. Y'all will have to cheat and give me that answer. Now, everybody couldn't make the thumbnail, unfortunately. Everybody couldn't make the thumbnail. There were some shows that was just a little bit too crowded. or rather, some shows that I couldn't fit everybody. Does anybody know what this show was? Anybody recognize this? No, Buck Rogers. That's funny. Oh, Rock with Charles Dutton. I actually was just watching. Somebody compiled all the scenes of The Rock talking about the with the drug dealer, with Andre the drug dealer. Those were some dangerous scenes. I thought Rock was about to be killed like right on TV multiple times. Somebody compiled that and put it on YouTube, and I started watching it the other day. All right, let me see if any of you guys know what this is. All 21 Jump Street, Baywatch, Punky Brewster, California. Yeah, there it is. There it is. California Dreams. Wow. Now this makes sense. Malibu, Degrassi, Swans Crossing, City Guys, a lot of Power Rangers. Now it makes sense why this show didn't make it. I was about to be mad. The Heights, Alf. I was about to be mad. Oh, Deshauna got it too. Hey, Pariah Pokemon, West Bragg, send me an email. admin@reesewaters.com. Shoot me a message. Shout out to you, Deshauna. Teletubbies. Who said Teletubbies? That's a weird show. When we was on vacation, they had Teletubbies on, and I had never watched it before. I said, that show was weird as hell. I can't believe that was something they let kids watch. Now this makes sense. Everybody hates Christmas Good. Now it makes sense why this show didn't make it. Because y'all had no idea what this was. You couldn't have told me growing up that California Dreams wasn't going to be as big, if not bigger than Saved by the Bell. And that Winnie Cooper wasn't going to be a massive movie star. You couldn't have told me that. I love me. I thought California Dreams was fire. Miss Ray said never heard of it. Damn. All right, I got another one for you. Hold up. Let me make sure this video actually, or this photo can actually work on here. Let's see, is this right? No, that's not right. Man, y'all killing me. Oh, wait, you know what I can do? Here, let me do this. This is easy. It's a different world. It's a different world from where you come from. Now, here's one. Let's see. Share screen. Allow. Window. Okay. Does anybody know what this was? Does anybody know what this was? Oh, I'm thinking I'm slick. Well, how come? Well, why y'all didn't watch it then? No, well, how come y'all didn't watch it then? Because it makes sense. It makes sense that California Dream got canceled. Now, I put the photos up and nobody knows who any of the people are. But I'm sitting here watching Hey Dude. I go to school. They don't know what I'm talking about. I go family reunions. My relatives and cousins don't know what I'm talking about. I sit here. I'm a grown adult. And every time I see Christine Taylor with Ben Stiller, I'm like, she really came up since Hey Dude. And people are like, what the hell are you talking about? Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Now y'all want to sit here and act like it's regular. Word. I don't know where y'all been. They said, Reese, Hey Dude wasn't for us. Nah, what you mean it wasn't for us? You see the brother on the side? Yeah. Ain't nothing but he just a little light skinned. That's all. It was for us. I love me some Hey Dude, man. All right, here's another. I got another one for you. This is the last one. I should probably. All right, all right, all right. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Oh no, it says the name. Oh, it says the name. All right, no points for this one. No points for this one. I ruined it. But shout out to Head of the Class, man. Shout out to Head of the Class. Another show that I feel like I watched by myself. It feels like California Dreams, Head of the Class, Hey Dude. What else would I put in that category? Sequest, DSV. The Secret Diaries of Desmond Pfeiffer. It seemed like those shows just came to my house. Like it was closed circuit television and they just came to my house. Nobody else watched any of that I knew. Nobody else watched any of that. And I can't. It makes me sad. It makes me feel like my childhood was a farce. Here I am thinking everybody watching these shows, and y'all wasn't watching none of it. Don't get me started with Nickelodeon. Don't get me started with Nickelodeon, because the Nick that we had, you know how many times I've done this rant to my wife? The Nick that we had went off at 7 o'clock. After 7 o'clock, then it became for elderly people. They said it was Nick at night. They said, hey, if your kids ain't sleep yet, we gonna put them to sleep. We gonna put them to sleep. If your kids ain't sleep yet, wait till they see Patty Duke. Wait till they see Dobie Gillis. Wait till your kids have to sit through Dobie Gillis. They be sleep. Yep. That's how they used to do it. TV would go off. That's Dennis the Menace. That was another one. Dennis the Menace. My Three Sons. Who said My Three Sons? Oh man. Yeah, it would. It would jump back there. Like, yeah, why is it black and white? Tell me, mama, what to do. If a boy makes eyes at you, tell me, mama, what to say. If he looks at me that way, tell me, mama, tell me what to do. Why do I know the words of that song? Nick at Night. Lassie. That was another one, Lassie. Nick at Night. Car 54, where are you? Yep. Don't get me started on that Nick at Night. Nick at Night. No, Nick at Night was We Gave Up. We give up. Hey, we only got programming for 12 hours. We're gonna do 7 to 7. And then we just give up. It was like somebody was programming Nickelodeon with their mama. And they were like, all right, I got 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then 7 p.m. you put on whatever you want. Oh my gosh. Nick at Night. Yeah, old Nickelodeon. Yeah, I Love Lucy. That was another one. I Love Lucy. Oh, snap. Okay. Now, so see, now we leaving the 80s now. Are we leaving the 80s? Yeah, I think we are leaving the 80s. When it comes to the GOAT reruns, okay? The GOAT reruns. I gotta think of what my top 3 would be. I don't know. You know what? I don't know what my third would be. But in my top 3, Good Times. Always love Good Times reruns. Always love Good Times. Batting 1,000. Three's Company. Go reruns. Give it up for John Ritter. Suzanne Somers and Joyce DeWitt. What y'all want with Three's Company reruns? I don't know what was happening in the programming of DC cable in the 80s. I don't know what they was on. I don't know whether it was one of Joyce DeWitt's relatives was in charge of it. I don't know if it was John Ritter Appreciation Society. I don't know. Three's Company was on constantly throughout my childhood. Reruns of Three's Company. They were just pumping it in my vein. Like, I didn't know what I was supposed to learn from that or what. I don't know if they were trying to teach me not to be like Larry or stay out of the Regal Beagle. I don't know. All I know is I will go hard in the paint for Three's Company. Hard. I got to figure out what would be the third? Jefferson's is solid. I wouldn't put it up there with those two. Jefferson's, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley. I never liked Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley, to be honest. I never liked those. MASH. Yeah, obviously I didn't watch MASH. MASH was not for me. All in the Family is really good, but I didn't appreciate it as a child. Amen. I enjoyed. Amen also is one of those shows I would put in the category of it felt like it was on closed circuit TV. Don't nobody ever talk about Amen. They'll talk about 227. You see Regina King on but nobody ever talks about Amen. I feel like I'm the only thing people ever say about Amen is the theme song. Natasha, did I? Well, see, Natasha, that is actually what my Reese Waters video is going to be about that I'm going to record right now. Is that when I tell y'all I grew up a nerd, like I'm not making that up, like I did, and so I was by myself a lot. I watched a lot of TV, and when you don't have people where you feel comfortable and safe to develop those relationships, you develop parasocial relationships with people on TV, and I definitely did that. So I have like those kinds of relationships with people like Theo and Malcolm-Jamal Warner. You're right about that. New York Undercover was another forgotten show. New York Undercover. Doogie Howser was so good, man. Y'all, Doogie Howser was fire. Y'all couldn't have told me that computer wasn't the height of technology and wouldn't continue to be the height of technology. I would have been fine if everything stopped at that computer. What's happening? I love a What's Happening rerun. That might be third. That might be third. I love What's Happening. That's tough. Allie said 227. Amen was a spinoff of 227, wasn't it? I actually don't know. It's definitely possible. I actually don't know. I never liked Alf. Yeah, I never liked Alf. Yeah, Alf and Harry and the Hendersons. I never liked that. You know, I had a more refined taste. You know, I had. You know, I just that was too lowbrow for me. You know, when Alf came on, I said, I think Patty Duke is on Nick at Night. Let's go. Let's watch the classics. Let's go on Dobie Gillis. I don't recall Manimal. I know it was a thing, but I don't actually recall it in real life. Miami Vice was good. Miami Vice was very good. Y'all remember a show called Sledgehammer? We off kids now. We just talk about shows now. Anybody add Sledgehammer to the closed circuit TV that went only to the Waters home, because I don't recall anybody ever talking about Sledgehammer except for me. The Beverly Hillbillies. I did watch a lot of Beverly Hillbillies. I also had a babysitter who loved Gilligan's Island. So I've watched like all of Gilligan's Island. Some of you would never know about me. I've watched every episode. I know all about Gilligan's Island. So there's that. Rockford Files, Bionic Man, Bionic Woman. I never watched it. Electric Company. Isn't that the show that had Morgan Freeman on it? Young Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman was born. Then he made Electric Company, I think, in his 30s, and then he immediately jumped to 70 years old. That was the only thing he did in his first 70 years was Electric Company. It's a fact. That's true. All right. He was born 40. Yeah, he was definitely born 40. That's for sure. That is for sure. Your Stephen A. takedown was epic, especially at the end of the video. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that, Raymond. Blast from the past. R.I.P. to Ozzy from Frederick Little. Shout out to Crazy Train. Kristen, thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Natasha dropping ATL Peaches. Thank you. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you very much. Thank you to Auntie Melanie. Thank you very much. Showing that Reese would have been friends. I've watched all the shows you named. Okay, I agree. I definitely agree. Hades Ashes, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And if you were the recipient of one of Hades Ashes gifts, make sure to send her some love and a thank you in the chat. Magnum PI. That was good in reruns, but I never watched it when it was on. Welcome Back, Kotter. That was another good one that I watched in reruns. I like Welcome Back, Kotter a lot. I was a fan of that. Never watched Dukes of Hazzard. Thunderbirds. Was that a thing? I heard of Thundercats. I never heard of it. Are you talking about Thunderbird Blues? What was that show with Bill Bellamy? He did have a show, didn't he? Had an MTV show. Yeah. Well, there we go. Somebody said not Thunderbirds. Was that a real show, Thunderbirds? I ain't never heard of that. $6 billion man. All right. In any event. Oh, Thunderbirds was a puppet show. Okay. All right. In any event, thank you all for rocking with me today on the live. Much appreciated. Tomorrow, be on the lookout for a premiere, probably around 4:00, but I should be able to throw that out shortly to those of the members, so you should be on the lookout for that. But I'm also going to record a Whale Waters video. I actually won't put it out tonight because it's so late, but I'll put it out tomorrow morning. So be on the lookout for a Whale Waters video tomorrow morning. If you don't already follow the channel, it is at Way of Waters. Check that out. It's going to be like an offshoot of this conversation that we're having right now, kind of what I was talking to Natasha about. But in any event, shout out to the Mod Squad. Thank you all for rocking with me. Lovely Nola, Miss Ray, Deshauna, Chernobyl, Roberta. Very much appreciate you guys rocking with me as always. And as we always end, I want to welcome Samantha, welcome Ivan. Thank you, TP. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Catch My Whiff, Aracellus Beard, Jamal, Crystal, the instructor, Tammy again, Crystal, Musty, Jessica, TP, Deshauna, Raymond, Frederick, Kristen, Natasha, Auntie Melanie, Deshauna coming through again, and of course, Hades Ashes. Very much appreciate all you guys for rocking with me on live, and I will see you guys tomorrow at the premiere. And in the meantime, over at Patreon in the community chat. I need to go get in the community chat. It's been too long, so I'm going to check that out right now so you can catch me over at patreon.com/Reese Waters. But between now and then, soak your feet.